Welcome to my channel. My name is Christina. I will show you so far my favorite short rows method, Japanese short rows, and I will be knitting in the round. I am knitting top-down raglan sweater at the moment. The yarn I'm using is 100% merino wool in stockinette stitch, and I want short rows to be invisible. Japanese short rows are the best option because it uses less yarn in the loop. So here how I do it. I utilize it at the neckline shaping. So this is the place where I need to turn on the wrong side. So that's what I do. I turn. I will need markers. This time I need only 2 because I will be always returning and knitting off the short row. You can use plastic ones, you can also make from the scrap yarn, it doesn't really matter. So I place the marker onto the working yarn and leave it on the wrong side, and I continue just purling back. It's not very comfortable to knit in front of the camera, to be honest, but I will try to do my best. So here how it looks. It creates the gap which we will need to close next row. So I will be now purling all the way around until my pattern says I need to turn again. So I'll see you there. Here I am on the wrong side and I need to turn. I turn, working yarn at the back, I take the marker, I place it onto the working yarn, just catching it. It's the marker, and continue knitting. I knit the first one off, second, and like this all the way until we meet the marker. This is how it looks. So yeah, I continue knitting all the way until I get to this marker, and I will show you how to work off. So here I slowly coming to the marker, and I will show you how to work it off on the right side. So here we are coming closer to the gap. We knit this stitch before the gap. Now we need to close the gap. To do so is very easy. We pull the marker and we put the loop onto the left hand needle. So the right side of the loop comes into the front and the left side goes to the back of the needle, just so it's open, not twisted. And we knit 2 stitches together, just like that. And I need to do 1 more and turn again. So I turn my work, I place the marker onto the working yarn, and again I continue purling all the way back until I get to the marker here, and I will show you how to work the Japanese short rows on the purl side. So here, coming closer to the gap and the marker, and I will show you now how I work it off on the wrong side of the fabric. So I just purl until the gap, and this will be a little bit trickier than on the right side, but the idea is the same. So I pull the marker, I place the loop onto the left hand needle the same way. The right side is in front and the left side is at the back of the needle. What I do now, I slip the loop as to knit, I slip the next stitch as to knit, I put both stitches back onto the left needle, and I purl them together through the back loop. I grab both through the back loop like that. Again. And now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now I worked one, I need to purl 5 more and then I need to turn. So that's what I do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because when we knit or purl together the loop with the next stitch, it counts towards the amount of stitches you need between the short rows. So here I purled loop and the next stitch together, I need 6, one I did with this purling or knitting together, and then I purled 5 more, and now I turn my work. Here is my marker. I place it onto the working yarn and I continue knitting. Knitting in the round, there is one trick. When you finish all your short rows and you come to knit on your right side, there will be always one unworked short row. This is the trickiest part in knitting in the round, and I will show you how it's done. So here I finished my shaping with short rows, and I continue knitting in the round, and I come to this last marker, which from where I turned from the wrong side, and then I continued knitting on the right side, and I continue knitting until I get to this gap, but it's opposite around, it's like from other side. So what I do to close this gap, you see this last stitch before the gap, I don't knit it, I just, so it was the place like this, I don't knit it, I just slip it as to knit. I grab my marker and this will be a little bit tight, and I try to get the loop onto my right hand needle. Somehow it always is a little bit tight, so be careful. Like that. And what I need to do actually, I need to put it nicely onto the left hand needle, and I put it back and I need to knit those two together through the back loop. Like that. I will show you one more time. So what we did, we got off the marker, we set it onto the left hand needle. I have this unknitted stitch which I place with the left side on the back and the right side on the front. So when I knit both through the back loop, this becomes untwisted, so it's not twisted when you knit through the back loop. So I do sometimes put around needle around the other needle, so I get hold of this tight loop, and I just knit two together through the back loop, and the hole is closed, and then I just continue knitting in the round, and this is how you work the last unworked marker when knitting Japanese short rows in the round. So can you spot where was it? It was here. And these are the other short rows. When you wash the ready garment, it will be almost absolutely invisible. On the wrong side, it looks also very, very neat. I just love Japanese short rows. You can see little dots here where I made the short rows. Here on the sleeve as well. So yeah, these were the Japanese short rows in the round. I hope it helped you, and if you want to see the new tutorials on knitting or crochet techniques, please subscribe to my channel and press the notification bell, and you will be first to want to know once the video comes up. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day, and I see you in my next videos. Bye!